Coordinators with VBN Sports, here with Chel Sanghara, the coordinator of the BCCFA The Game. Welcome, Chel.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Now, I would imagine you probably haven't slept a whole lot the last few months because it has just been quite an undertaking coordinating the game and getting this ready for next year. Explain a little bit about what the game is.
So the game is going to be a platform for showcasing players of BC. It's going to be a game that is open to high school and to community players. We are going to hold tryouts in all the zones. And as we go through the zones, we're going to have the players come try out. We'll take a staff with us from the Lower Mainland here, and there'll be staff that is situated in all the zones that will be assisting us as well. So it's a mix of coaches, and the kids will try out in every zone and then be selected and invited to the game that will be played here in the Lower Mainland sometime next year. Once we know dates, that will be based on this COVID situation. So we're not putting the date down until we know more about what's going on with COVID, but it will happen next year.
Now, you've got a lot of experience doing events like this, helping out with the Border Bowl series for a number of years. How much more challenging was it, though, to have to head this and all the paperwork and bureaucracy that goes along with it?
So, one of the things that I think that I've learned along the way was, whether it was a nonprofit or a profit, is, irrelevant to the work that I do. So the work that I do is for the kids. I've always been a volunteer, and there was a little bit more room and flexibility working with volunteering for a private company because there is, no, structure other than the one that we pick and choose to use. As a community person, I try to utilize a lot of my skill sets, my knowledge as a league president into the previous platform, which was a private one. Going back now and presenting this to the nonprofit, the governing body for community football, it was, you've got to present it, but you also have to provide them with the perspective that although the previous platform was a private company, the members loved it. And so it was tricky because you've got to provide perspective to everybody of this is truly a member funded event. So this will not take from the financials of the BCCFA. We did the budget strictly based on parent funding. And the parents like the platform that I did before. They are very aware that I'm going to utilize everything that I've done before and if not more. So they were supportive of it prior to me even actually putting the proposal through. And we had an overwhelming response. I'm a very transparent person. So I think that's what I'm known for. And so I felt that I had to let the membership know because they asked me to put the proposal in. And they know they're going to pay for it. Now, bringing that to a board, they have concerns because a board is a governing body, and they want to make sure everything is, on point, check. No, nothing's going to be a concern financially, or what are we doing? The kind of coaches we have above board. They want to make sure everything is good, so they have to do their due diligence to ensure. But I feel like I'm Chel Sanghara, and I am one of the biggest community performers out there. And I've done my due diligence in growing the game and supporting the BCCFA. And I think that there should be no worries with me doing the game because I will make sure everything follows all the standards.
Well, football is played in this province as far north organized as Vanderhoof and Prince George and down south to the island. Now, will this be open to all of those kids, and what ages are we targeting?
So we will be starting with the little guys at age 11. So that would be equivalent to a second year Pee Wee. But because they play the game the following year, when they're actually going to be just before they're starting their JV season. And then we're going to include the grade 12s, which would be second year midget. And yes, we're absolutely going to include every zone, because this is another thing. When you have an established program and an established following, and you bring it to something new. We're looking for a home for what I'm trying to do here. I have an established group of people who I have a responsibility to. And that comes with not just being somebody on a board and putting out of events, but it's actually a responsibility that comes when you actually know faces and families in every zone. So yes, we're going to go to all these zones. I don't want to be without, certain guys. Like I have relationships in every zone. So we're going to make every like opportunity out there. We're going to take it. We're going to, explore every avenue, make sure that this is inclusive. Even with the volunteers, the managers are going to come from all zones. That's how I've had the most fun with my previous platform, is just including everybody. And I'm taking this as a responsibility. Joe Gluska has been a great support, and he has definitely encouraged, motivated me. He could see the benefits of an established program coming to the BCCFA. And if our members love it and it's a success already, no doubt in our mind that this is going to be a great game. And if we can share that experience with people who've never done something with me, or with one of my games, or been in one of my leagues, I think it's going to be a benefit.
You've had a chance over the years, Chel, of seeing what showcase games like this can do for players' confidence and helping their ability moving forward. What's been surprising to you from when you first got involved in things like this to where you are now with the way it impacts these young players?
I think that, you have to come together and play with people. You cannot be the best in your province unless you know who they are. And I always tell everybody, you're the best guy on your home team. Okay, no question there. You can be the quarterback, starting quarterback, play the whole game. That's great. But you can't get better without knowing the quarterback on the island, or the quarterback in Vancouver, or the quarterback in Kelowna. You've got to come to a place where you can play alongside those guys, see how they play, and then know where you stand and know where you can get better. Now, for the average player, sometimes it's just a matter of who you're coaching with. Maybe you're not inspired by your local coach. Maybe, you not really sure about football. You come out to one of these teams and you are just, blown away at the experience. And so for me, I have to continue doing football because I've been given a gift to share an experience with the players. And if anybody can come to the game and just, get a little bit of, okay, I can move my feet this way, or this is what I need, or a word was said to you by a coach that you never heard before. I've seen the change. I've seen it happen so many times. And I always say, what you were in Pee Wee, I never judge a kid by what they were in Adam or Pee Wee or JB, because it all comes together by the time they're in the senior prospects.
Well, I've seen the list of coaches you already have established joining various staffs, and it's impressive. Decades of experience with them. Have you got those solidified, or are you still looking for good coaches out there that can join the staffs?
So this is one of the things when you go into BCCFA, they would automatically think, okay, now, and this is how people think, and I'm going to be totally honest with the membership on this. It's not just pitching a platform or an idea. It's something that we've done, that is my coaching staff, my managers, my trainers. We've done it. We've done the work, and we're really good at it. And so when I pitched the idea to BCCFA, I had told them that I had selected coaches, because the coaches that have done this for 6 years, they built the ship. They're the guys that the kids come back to play for. And I know there's other coaches out there that are just as good. But because I'm taking this platform and I'm going to put it through, we've already sat down time and time and time again on improving player rotations, what drills we're going to run, the team building that's involved, the life skills. And I have to be able to trust that these guys understand what I am talking to them about when I say, who do you got rotating here? Who are you starting? So, yes, there is room for positional coaches and only one head coach at the youngest level, which is the young prospects. We need to get a whole staff for the young prospects. And it has to end up ultimately being a guy that I know understands the vision of this game and the responsibility that lies in an organizer. So if you are an organizer for any event and a coach doesn't, live up to standards, he doesn't do everything that is great, and can do something that is not so great, in the end, it goes on the organizer. So, like I told the BCCFA, if this is going to be me doing this, I want to make sure the guys that are out there that are going to do the best for the kids and the best for the program. So yeah, I'm doing interviews. People have messaged me. They're interested in coaching for me. But I told them I love you guys. Once you get on with me, I'm going to love you. But I'm going to ask you some questions too. But we can do this.
Now, there are parents, I'm sure, that are well aware of this, but there are others maybe in the football community, maybe their kids are just starting to really get serious about football that aren't sure about these platforms yet. What's the best way that they can follow what's going on and get in touch with you?
So right now we're just getting set up on everything. This vote just went through Monday. So I'm a workhorse. You see the logo's done, and we're getting going. So the best way right now is they can email me, or they can go onto Facebook, and we will have a group there that's the game. And also on Instagram, we have the game 2021 set up already. And until we can get all the proper stuff up onto BCCFA, that's the way. The local clubs are going to be getting information too. So I'm writing up the emails and getting that all out to the local clubs. But overall, it's going to be everywhere. So, you can come to me too, Chel Sanghara. A lot of people know how to get a hold of me.
So nothing on TikTok with you and the coaches dancing yet?
Nothing. That's coming. That's part of the whole thing. It's funny you mentioned that, because with the things that I do, it's never a one-off game. And once you play for me, you're stuck with me. And our coaches, we like to show the kids what the coaches are up to. So there's a lot of social media when it comes to my events.
Well, Chel, thanks so much for doing this, and congratulations. I know the work's just begun,
Thank
but
you.
enjoy the ride.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. And, VBN, I am so happy that you guys, you've done VCFL games, you've done provincial games. I wrote you guys into my budget because you guys are truly, and you need to know this, part of the things that I do. Everybody's aware that I'm going to go and do it big. And VBN had to be part of this because it makes it a great event. So thank you guys, and Warren, we'll hear you again pretty soon.
Butchering players' names and doing it lovingly every time.
Absolutely.
That is Chel Sanghara of BCCFA, the game. She's the coordinator. I'm Warren Anders with VBN Sports. Thanks for tuning in.